Now that's a very hard question, because there isn't one that I can actually, oh God, you got me now.
A sound doesn't make a bad film good, but it does make a good film even better. I mean, the first, when you go to a cinema and it's got a great sound system and the bass is thumping you in the chest and you've got sound all around you, it does draw you into the movie.
Book of Eli.
Well, like Transform. Okay, can I just think about them? Sucker Punch, Transformers.
There's a scene in the Book of Eli that I had the demo actually with the RS20i, and it was a scene with the drone gun, and it absolutely blew me away, to be honest. And I think, I don't know if it's well known, but to me it just absolutely blew me away.
I mean, films that stand out for me. I mean, I couldn't. If I was going to say, to name you one movie that's got a brilliant soundtrack, I couldn't.
A bit of a tough question, but I'm a firm believer that it's 50% visual, 50% audio. And as someone said to me, if you turn the music off on the audio off on a horror film, it's not a horror film, is it? Because
depending on the mood you're in and what you're actually watching, some films stand out more than others. If you're watching a movie with good vocals and more of a musical, then I would say something like Dreamgirls is brilliant. If I'm watching something on a movie kind of, a war kind of front, then something like Saving Private Ryan.
No matter how good the movie is on screen, you want to be immersed in that as an experience. And obviously an action film, a war film or whatever, having a dynamic soundtrack with lots of bass pumping out at you and good surround effects, to me can make a movie.
Well, DATASAT Communications was started about 25 years ago, and we're a satellite communication company that specialises in very high-end communications for blue chip and embassy clients. Very secure networks where it cannot go wrong for the client. A company called DTS Digital Cinema came up for sale. Having always been in the TV and loved audio, I decided to buy that division of DTS, and so I bought DATASAT Digital Entertainment, we call it now, but it was the DTS Digital Cinema division.
DTS had a great pedigree, it still has a great pedigree in audio sound, and the change from DTS to DATASAT has not been an easy one. I mean, DATASAT is now becoming associated with movies. The logos are on the film, the logos are on credits and posters at the tube station and so forth. And it has been a hard process to get people to recognise the transition from the DTS film soundtrack to the DATASAT soundtrack. And our aim is to make the DATASAT brand as well known as the DTS brand.
Our trailers played around cinemas around the world, so from that side of things, we've got a brand there of DATASAT, and the message we're trying to get across is that we were DTS, we now have DATASAT, but still have the same core individuals from DTS. We still have the same engineers, we still have the same people who worked on DTS at the beginning. We have people, the first European employee of DTS is still working for us. So as a core, we have some amazing individuals that can create amazing things, and hence the AP20 was born from that.
So I purchased the company, and we've moved it into the digital era, where I've taken the audio products that we developed for making the perfect audio in a cinema. We've taken those products, enhanced them, and bringing them into the domestic market, which is the RS20i as a result of that.
Well, the RS20i has been born from our AP20 audio processor, which is in the in the cinemas all around the world. The whole idea behind it is if you want a home cinema, you want to replicate what you see in cinemas and hear in cinemas. And we can do that because our processor is used in cinemas around the world, so hence the RS20i was born.
So it's got all the features of everything you need in the cinema, plus a lot more features for in your domestic high-end home cinema.
With the RS20i, the difference is when the unit came out, obviously the AP20 is for a rack. It's going to be used in a booth that no one's going to ever see, but it's powerful. But for the consumer market, we had to think about, right, it's got to look the part. You know, in a very high-end home theatre, you probably might not actually see the unit. It's still going to probably be sat tucked away somewhere, but it still needed to look the part. So the obvious changes to the actual unit was the front fascia, the screen moved to the middle, the fader moved a little bit towards the right. The obvious changes, power supplies had to be changed to be much more silent. HDMIs to change from 1.3 to 1.4, obviously for 3D content. One big thing that was changed, which is something that was asked from us before actually bringing out this box, and that was to have bass management. So bass management is a huge change that is not available in the AP20 because it's just not needed. So that's in there as well.
Well, for me, I mean, my top 5 things really on the RS20i. I mean, first and foremost, audio capabilities, audio sonic capabilities. I mean, we've designed a lot into the unit, but without the sonic fidelity there, without the audio quality, it doesn't matter what we add, it's not going to be good. So, you know, the design engineers in the US, it's all designed in-house, focused on the audiophile quality of it. For me, my favourite functions is the audio formats. Having different EQs and different channel mapping per format or input is very important. I mean, that's a unique feature to our box. The multiple EQ formats that we can do, 31 band EQ on all channels, parametric EQ as well as the DRAC room optimization, makes the unit so unique and configurable that there's nothing else out there like that. Automation control is another neat feature where we can act as a host controller with the touchscreen on the front. We can control other devices as well as be controlled, so it can sort of be a central part of your home automation system. And with network access, you can control it via your iPad or your iPhone or other Android device, and it makes it really easy to use. Because we've come from the cinema and we've had all the history, and the engineers, my engineering group, started with Jurassic Park and have been there all the time, we've been able to take that wealth of experience from the cinema, from Hollywood, into the domestic marketplace, and I think that's where we really differ from the other companies around.
The diversity of it, and it's so feature rich. We've tried to, with our expertise that we have, we've tried to look at every scenario, possibility, wish list as you were. We've tried to create this unit that can do pretty much anything. I have to go back to the story about where we've come from, our legacy. I don't think any other brand can say what we can say. Obviously, our processor is used in cinemas around the world. I think that's a massive thing to say. If you want to create that cinema space in your home, why not use a processor that's used in cinemas around the world?
So we are now working with some major companies on bringing 11.1 surround sound into the domestic marketplace and into the cinema. So as we pull it through into the cinema marketplace, we'll also be pulling it through into our products that can go then into the domestic marketplace.
Where we have a traditional 5.1 or 7.1 setup where we have a left, centre and right, and we have left surround, right surround and left and right rear. With 3D audio, that you have additional height speakers. So as an example, on the Ori 11.1 system, you have 3 extra height channels on the stage. So you have a left, centre, right where they normally are, and then you have a left, centre, right, high. And then the surrounds also have a high level as well. So you have a left surround normal and a left surround high, and a right surround normal, right surround high. And then you have what we call a voice of God, which is a ceiling speaker. And with that, it allows the directors and producers, using the same tools that they use now to mix film, there's plugins created for Pro Tools and so on, that the mix is really the same. They can then really spatialise, position audio where they want it to be positioned, and it gives you a greater awareness, you know, things overhead, or it does an extra dimension.
In 1983, George Lucas set a standard with THX, In 1993, Spielberg set a standard with Jurassic Park. We're now going into the digital age, and DATASAT are at the forefront of that. We're trying to set standard.
The future for us is really exciting. I mean, we're working with, as I say, Barco on the 3D technologies. The AP20 is doing really well as an audio processor. We're looking forward to the future with our amplifier project as well as the RS20i, and we have lots of other projects on the horizon that we hopefully will excite and the consumer out there and DATASAT will be a brand that people recognise and associate with high quality audio. So
obviously DATASAT, we started at the higher end of the market with the RS20i. In the future we are going to be looking to branch out to the mass market, but by no means will our standard slip. We want to be known as the best sound company out there, and I think we will be doing that for the home cinema market in the years to come.